I walk in a large circle around my backyard for exercise. Do you think neighbors would view that as weird? Or do you think no one cares? Even if they did find it weird, fuck them, it's none of their business. Any exercise is worth it, you do you. People think about you a lot less than you presume. They don't care. They might think it's weird, but if they do, so what? It's your yard. You should not care what others think you are doing. Walk until you have a dirt path. You know it is all yours. No one with a life would care. The only type of neighbor who would care would be those who have no life, so they spend their time spying on their neighbors, trying to find some way to stir up neighborhood drama. If you're that self-conscious though, do a couple of jumping jacks or some stretching moves to make it clear to anyone who would bother that you're exercising. The type of person who would care what you do in your own backyard isn't worth worrying about. Imagine stopping a healthy habit because someone thinks it's weird. Bro, it's your backyard, do whatever you freaking want in there. Who cares what they think? Do your healthy thing. Does it really matter what they think? I bet they do stuff all the time that other people might think is weird, but they do it. If walking in your backyard makes you happy, that's all that count. Maybe they will start walking. From personal experience, I moved into a neighborhood where no one walked outside, ever. I didn't walk my dog for the longest time because I worried what these strangers would think of me. Then on a pretty day, I took her for a walk around the block. This is now a daily walk for us, and I see a few other people walking around now. The message here is do what makes you happy. Don't let other people who you don't even really know hold you back. Every Friday morning I run 51 laps around the 0.2 mile path in my backyard. If anybody notices, I'm hoping they are impressed. I'm agoraphobic, so I walk my yard. I get some exercise, fresh air and sunlight, all things that I need. I felt a little self-conscious at first, but no one seems to even notice. I mix up my directions so I don't feel like I'm walking a prison yard or a skating rink. They know exactly what you are doing and why you are doing it, so no worries. My senior neighbors do this every day. I didn't think it was weird. Actually, they do this as a couple's activity like 3x a day. They are going to live longer than me. 3 different neighbors do that on my street. One has young kids at home and want to walk, but not be far from them. One is old and that might be just the distance he wants. And the third does it to talk on the phone, I think. He has 4 kids at home and it is loud. He walks with his phone. Not weird. But if it were weird, do it extra. No weirder than me going out to stare at the stars at odd hours of the night when I can't sleep. It's my view of the sky and I'm using it to my advantage. This ain't Maple Street. When we don't do our regular walks around the yard, WFH, my neighbor checks on us. Lol. If I saw this, I'd think to myself that you're getting some exercise, good for you. After several days of this, I'd see you and smile, rooting for you. After a couple months of this, I'd applaud your success. After a year, I'd notice less often, but applaud you. Never, and I mean never, would I say anything to you about it unless you mention it first, then I'd tell you whatever applied from what I wrote above. Trust me when I say, no one cares about you as much as you think they do. No one cares. Even with neighbors like mine who actually pay attention. My elderly neighbor walked the perimeter of his property daily to check it for trash, weeds, deer damage, raccoon dumping, pipe leaks, bad drainage, etc., but also to keep from being sedentary in his later years. It's actually kinda weird not to if you think about it. You should just embrace it completely. Wear a panda costume every time. And carry a bunch of bamboo branches in arms. I'll lose more calories. As PPL say, who cares what our neighbor thinks?